Richard is a biographical sports film starring Will Smith as Richard Williams, playing the father of Venus and Serena Williams. This movie basically tells the story of how Richard Williams was as a coach and as a father to Venus and Serena when they were kids. His life as a tennis coach to them, their life growing up in Compton, ultimately what led to the two girls' path to becoming the mega tennis stars that they turned into. This was a movie that I was really looking forward to seeing. I'm a huge fan of Will Smith. Granted, I don't know anybody in the world who isn't. You want to talk about a guy who has range to his act. I mean, he's been the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he's been in I Am Legend, he's been Muhammad Ali, he's got a wide range of skills to his acting arsenal. I was also definitely fascinated in this story. I mean, I'm definitely not a tennis fan. I have a lot of friends who are big into tennis. I've never really been into that, but I do know that Venus and Serena are probably the two greatest tennis players of all time. Serena Williams, I think you could definitely make a case that she is the greatest tennis player of all time. And when they make a movie about an all-time great athlete or athletes, I'm always interested in seeing their backstory. It's one of the reasons why I really appreciated the movie 42. I liked seeing the backstory behind Jackie Robinson. And I gotta tell you, I gained a lot out of this movie. This is a damn good biographical sports pick. Right out the gate, Will Smith gives what is probably right now my favorite performance of the whole year. I think this is the best he has been in a very long time. When I was watching this movie, I didn't really see Will Smith. I saw Richard Williams. I saw this father. I saw this coach who is pushing his daughters to be the best, not just players, but people that they can be. He did a great job, and I think representing who Richard Williams was as a person. He did not grow up with the greatest life. He is raising his family in Compton, California, which is notorious for its gang violence, its drugs, its crime. And because of all that, he is extremely tough on his daughters. You know, he's pushing them. It's like, you better be getting A's in school. You're going to be going to church regularly. We're going to have double sessions playing tennis so you can become great. And because he's so hard on his kids, it makes him, you know, kind of frowned upon by other families, by the community, because of how tough he is on them. But what I love is he's so unapologetically admitting to how tough he is on his kids. He says one line, I'm definitely paraphrasing a little bit, but he says something along the lines of, like, I would rather be getting complaints of how tough I am on my kids than getting a phone call from the police saying that one of my kids has been shot out on the streets. Which hits right there. I mean, they're living in a very dangerous part of the country at this point in time, you know? It makes sense that he's that hard on them. What I really also appreciate seeing in Richard Williams is how he raises them to be athletes. It's like, you know, Venus and Serena, they were supremely gifted. I mean, like he says to multiple tennis coaches, it's like, I got the next two Michael Jordans. And actually, what you see with a lot of big athletes nowadays is the egos they tend to collect. A lot of them get really big heads for their bodies, and typically, in my experience of watching sports, when you get a massive ego, that's typically when you start to fall off a little bit. I mean, it always catches up to you. The key in sports is to stay humble, and that's something he emphasizes on Venus and Serena as they're winning these tennis tournaments. He wants them to be great people, and that's also why I appreciate he's not really pushing for them to become pros right out the gate, even though they have the talent to do that. He's like, nope, I still want you doing great in school. I still want you to be involved in this family with the community that you're a part of. Because he knows in sports, freak things happen, injuries happen, you know, fallouts can go on. Your career can literally end like that. Getting into the rest of the cast for a little bit, I really love the two girls who played Venus and Serena. I thought they were two really good kid actors. Venus is in a lot more of the limelight in this movie because she is older than Serena, and her career is what kind of took off first before Serena. I love seeing the drive that both these daughters have. They both want to be these great tennis players. They both want to make their dad proud. You see a real drive in both of them. I really love the relationship they have with each other. They're very supportive of each other, which I really appreciate seeing in Serena, in the fact that, you know, she wasn't really chosen immediately to be, you know, the next great tennis player. You know, she wasn't chosen for all these deals and coaching and endorsements. But nevertheless, you see a real sister bond between them, and I really love seeing the drive that they exhibit. Also, the actress who plays Richard Williams' wife, I can't pronounce this woman's name. I tried multiple times. I'm not going to be able to do it. But I really thought she was great too. She was a really good supporting actress in this movie. I like seeing that she's on board with Richard. She supports what's going on. She wants these daughters to be great. But it's not that she and Richard don't butt heads sometimes. You know, some of the actions he has, even she's not totally on board with. But what I like is, she has a backbone enough to stand up to him and be like, no, you're not going to do this, or no, I'm going to be a part of you this way, or I'm going to be part of this way. Even a monologue that she gives and talking about how, she stood by him through all the trying times that he's been through and how he needs to give his daughter the chance to really go for it, and the fact that she's capable of now setting herself up for an amazing career of playing tennis. It's the right kind of spousal relationship there. It's like, I support you, but I'm not backing down from you either. I also thought Jon Bernthal was really good in this movie too. I mean, he ultimately becomes like the main tennis coach for Venus. Richard Williams, he goes around, he talks to all these, recruiters and coaches, like, you gotta sign my kid, you gotta sign my kid. And he's the one who ultimately does. What I like to see is it's a different role for him, Normally in a lot of movies that he stars in, he's that badass, tough guy kind of character. In this case, he's more of the, approachable, likable tennis coach. Showing more of his range as an actor, and that's never a bad thing to see. But again, what I really appreciate here is I like seeing the dynamic between him and Richard Williams, because at the same time, he's the one who wants to coach the girls, but Richard Williams is still going to step in at times as not just the coach, but more so as the dad. You really see a frustration there, because he's all like, you gotta let your daughter go pursue this, and he's like, nope, she's going to pursue this first, and then she'll pursue that. One of the things that I appreciate in this movie is you do see how likable Richard Williams clearly was as a person, even as frustrated as people got with him. They never really wanted to just condemn him or call him a piece of shit or anything like that, because they know it's like, what he's doing is with the right intentions. Even in Richard Williams, he always has a very just calm demeanor to himself. Even when someone is getting riled up or upset with them, he just pulls all like, hey now, relax, you're a better person than that. I also did really appreciate that this movie does stress how fucking good these girls were at tennis. I mean, they literally just sweep the floor with everybody, and it's not like they just go against a bunch of no-names the entire time. A lot of these, girls that they're beating are like top in the world, and they just smoke most of them. When you make a movie about an all-time great athlete, you really need to emphasize how great that they were, and this movie did that by showing how great these girls were right out the gate. Venus was fucking 14 years old, and she's going on these world tours, taking on these all-time great tennis players, at least who they seemed to be at the time. They were number one in the world, and Venus is just crushing them. Really awesome tennis match at the very end of the movie. As someone who doesn't watch tennis, I can tell you that one was sick. But all in all, King Richard, this was a damn great movie. Will Smith gives the best performance I've seen from him in a very long time. I think he should be up for an Oscar this year. I have a feeling he will be. I feel like that's the one thing he's missing in his career. He's missing that Oscar. And granted, I haven't seen everything this year, but I think he's definitely got a shot at it. The rest of the cast was great. The actresses playing, Venus and Serena and Richard's wife, they were awesome. Jon Bernthal was awesome. I love seeing the story behind Venus and Serena, how they were great tennis players, but how Richard raised them to be great people on the way, to be successful off the court. The tennis matches were really entertaining, especially the one in the end. That one was awesome. If I have one flaw with the movie is a little bit long. It's around 2.5 hours long, but when I watch it, there's not really a moment I would take out of it. So in that case, I guess I can't really have a big problem with the runtime. In the end, as someone who's not really a fan of tennis and didn't really know anything about Venus or Serena, and certainly not Richard Williams going into this movie, I walked out of it very enlightened by it. If you're a tennis fan, this is definitely one you need to see. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.